Now that the plunge is full to the point that it covers both the inlet and the outlet, you can go ahead and start your chiller. To start the chiller, first press and hold the unlock button. This will allow you to then turn on the chiller. It's important when you're starting your chiller, whether it be for the first time or after you've just changed your filter, that this filter housing gets filled. So there's a few ways to do that. The first way is to just press on this red knob on top. This will help purge out the air. Or another way to do it is you can just crack this loose, the housing. No, just unscrew it slightly, not fully, and you'll notice that water starts to fill this. So it's important that this gets filled up. So it's now full. So now in your startup sequence, press and hold the unlock button. Power on the chiller. You should hear the pump start to run first for about 30 seconds. After those 30 seconds, the pump will stop. So while going through the initial priming cycle, you should see water circulating through the filter. Again, after a minute, you'll hear the fan kick on and the compressor. So when you're thinking about where you're going to locate your chiller, it's important to remember that these vents on both sides and in the front is where air is pulled through and then vented out the back of your chiller here. So you need at least 3 feet from the back of the chiller to allow for proper ventilation. It is important not to cover the suction port of the tub while you're using it. So the bottom port there is the suction, the top is the inlet, the water coming from the chiller into the tub. That's the secondary outlet port if you wanted to run the suction from the back side of the tub. But if you were to cover that bottom port, it will turn the chiller off due to low flow. It protects itself and it will shut itself off if you cover that port with your foot or something while you're using it. So after the initial 30 seconds of the pump priming and running, it will then shut off for about 31 seconds. You'll then hear the pump kick back on as well as the fan and then the compressor. After about 3 minutes, the ozone system will kick on. So this chiller is equipped with an ozone system for sanitation. So you've got your chiller all set up, it's ready to go. A couple of key things to remember. One, where you're gonna store it and how that pertains to the ventilation and the proper ventilation of the chiller. So the air gets pulled in through the sides and the front of the chiller housing and then gets vented out the back. So it's really important to make sure that there's at least 3 feet from the back of the chiller to any wall or any obstruction, and the same on the sides. You wanna make sure that's clear so it can properly pull air in and vent it out the back. Also sanitation. So I mentioned earlier that the system uses an ozone sanitation system, but we're also gonna wanna use food grade hydrogen peroxide to maintain and keep the system clean, avoiding things like bromine and chlorine, which can oxidize and potentially damage your chiller.